Hey, what's up guys, it's Austin Kovach here with Eternal King Ministries, and we're here in the upper room, and I just wanted to do another weekly revelation for you guys. And today I was reading in John chapter 17, which is Jesus' prayer, one of his last prayers, and it's so powerful because it's a conversation just between him and God, and he's praying to the Father, and he's talking about the disciples and the people that he poured into, and I really think that you can see his heart behind it. And so I was reading in there, and I just want to read this little section to you. It's chapter 17 verse 15. I'll start right there. It says, "I do not ask that you take them out of the world, but that you keep them from the evil one. They are not of the world, just as I am not of the world. Sanctify them in the truth. Your word is truth. As you sent me into the world, so I have sent them into the world. And for their sake I consecrate myself, that they also may be sanctified in truth." And that first part, verse 15, really stuck out to me. It says, "I do not ask that you take them out of the world, but I ask that you keep them from the evil one." And I was just thinking of how sometimes we talk about we can't wait to be called into heaven and be with the Father and these things, and how when we're on earth we're going to look like we're going to be sinners saved by grace, and we're going to continue in this until we get to heaven, and we're going to be stumbling and falling, and really you see Jesus' heart in this prayer, because he knows our heart and what we've said and the excuses we have. And so in this prayer he's praying that we would understand the truth of this, and you really see it here when he says this, because we're not called to be out of this world, but he says, I don't want them to leave this world. I want them to be in the world, but I don't want them to be of the world. I want you to keep them from the evil one, Father. And so really what he's calling us to do is he's calling us to look different than the rest of the world while we're here. And so I really just wanted to speak on this, because I think it's something that we miss sometimes, is that we're meant to look completely different than the world. We're meant to have different desires and passions, and we're meant to just literally look different than the rest of the world. We're meant to manifest Jesus to people. And actually in the beginning of this prayer at chapter 17, he says, I have manifested your name to the people. And he's talking about Jesus has manifested the Father to the people, and I think that's such a call that we're meant to manifest the Father, and we're meant to manifest Jesus to people. We're meant to look like him so people can see that, and people can see Jesus. And the word sanctification means holy and set apart. It means set apart for the service to God. And so really we're meant to be sanctified in the sense of we're meant to be set apart from the rest of the world. We're meant to look different than the world. And so I really think this is a thing we miss out on, and we need to understand that we're meant to look different than the world. We're meant to look holy and blameless and set apart from the rest of the world. And so we really just want you guys to understand this and grasp this, that this is what we're called to. We're not called to look like the world and be sinners saved by grace. We're meant to be saints set apart, looking different. And this isn't a call out to you guys, it's a call up. It's a call to the more and to the greater. And we really just want to see a generation that goes after the truth of looking different, and call in a higher calling to live this life. And so we really just want to encourage you guys to dig into this. Really just dig into this and ask for God's heart behind it. Lord, I'm meant to look different. How do I look different? And the truth of it is that the Holy Spirit is here to help you. That's why he's called the Helper, which actually a couple chapters before this, that's where he talks about that I have to leave so that way I can send the Helper to you, when the Helper is the Holy Spirit. And so the reason Jesus had to rise, he died, but he also had to rise from the dead, so that way he could bring the Holy Spirit to us, to enable us by his grace to walk this way and live this holy, set apart, blameless, sanctified life. And so we really just want to encourage you guys to walk in that, and to dig into it and see that we're actually called into this. And if you guys have questions, I've been digging into this topic for a long time, and I would love to talk to you guys about it. So if you have questions, just message us on any of these social medias that this is on. Otherwise, yeah, just contact us, and we'd love to talk to you guys about it. So bless you guys. We love you guys. And yeah, we'll see you next time.